Election day in Georgia, and after months of accusations, attack ads, and endorsements from big names, it all comes down to today's vote. The race for governor could not be any closer, and by the end of the night, we'll know if we have a winner or if we're headed to a runoff.
But before voters could cast their ballots, many had to wait in long lines, and some even had to deal with voting machine problems. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Tom Haynes.
And I'm Sine Simpson. Now, the polls are open for about 2 more hours, then the results will start rolling in.
We're going to be here all night with a team of reporters covering the key races all over Georgia, including the tight governor's race between Republican Brian Kemp and Democrat Stacey Abrams.
Fox 5's Deidre Dukes is live with the Abrams campaign. Morse Diggs live with the Kemp campaign. But let's start with Fox 5's Angelique Proctor, who's in Gwinnett County with a look at some of the problems that voters saw there. Angelique?
Sine and Tom, I got to tell you, I have talked to a lot of frustrated voters today who say with such a big race at the top of the ticket, why weren't Gwinnett County election officials ready for today? The polls here at this precinct did not even open at 7 o'clock. They didn't open until 7:25. Once they opened, the machines were down, and they remained down for 4 hours.
People are starting to leave and go home. So get in line, come out here and vote.
Gwinnett County voter Kelvin Carroll started broadcasting the voting problems at Ennistown Elementary School on Facebook Live. Inside, the precinct looked like a giant waiting room with babies, cell phones, and long lines, while the electronic voting machines sat idle for 4 long hours.
I don't want to say voter suppression, but it's scary. It's scary that all of a sudden machines that are supposed to work aren't working.
We are told about 100 voters could not stay and walked out, while others refused to leave. Election officials were providing paper ballots.
We stood strong. We are not going to fill out the paper ballots, and we're going to wait. And we waited patiently 4 hours.
The first mistake was not having all the possible solutions in her grasp. She come with a bunch of cables and a box of the computer monitors.
Gwinnett election officials say the express poll computers that generate voting cards were down. Without a card, voters can't use the electronic machines. Congressman Hank Johnson and others from the Georgia Democratic Party scrambled a news conference together, encouraging voters who had to leave to come back.
As people found out about this issue in this precinct and a few others around here, as you've just heard, folks did descend upon this area. You've got television cameras, you've got folks from the media, and you've got a giant number of people who are here with legal support.
Now, these precinct problems weren't limited to just here at Ennistown. It happened at 3 other precincts. They also had a problem at a 4th precinct, which was a power cord that wasn't in place. Because of the problems here, this site will remain open tonight until 7:25. Reporting live in Gwinnett County, Angelique Proctor, Fox 5 News.
Well, there are actual cheers that went up at the Pittman Park polling place in Fulton County. Voters there started the morning with just 3 voting machines, which created long lines. By about 11 a.m., workers arrived with more machines, and as you can see, they were greeted with celebrations from those in line. Tom?